Hello and welcome back to Better Than Yesterday, a podcast brought to you by MTN Coaching. And today we are joined by Lewis and Alex. And we're going to do a little bit of a yearly recap. We're going to chat about all things MTN that have happened in 2025. A little bit of a reflection, some lessons, maybe some stories. If you've got any stories, going to chat a little bit about growth, and then we'll end this chatting about all things 2026 and what that's looking like. So I thought I would actually just break it down into quarter by quarter, just discuss some of the things that happened. For me, I'll kick things off. Q1 was very much building the 12-week peak. Obviously, we had our Anchorman video, which we can maybe discuss a little bit about as well. Golden ticket launch. We've done a lot of stuff on goal setting. We had Rosie and Peter join the team. Me and Kirsty announced that we're having a baby, and the 12-week peak actually kicked off. So it was a hectic start to the year. And I think for you guys as well, I'm sure you'll agree, January as a coach is just, I'm going to say hell on earth, but yeah, it's a lot.
It's pretty hectic.
Yeah.
I always laugh though, because we're always like, oh God, January, February's wild. And then the minute that February's done, the 12-week peak starts. So then March to also June is wild. And then you're like, oh God, that was crazy. And then it's like, oh no, I've just taken on all these clients from 12-week peak. So basically just the whole year's quite wild. Apart from maybe now. Now's the first time I felt a wee bit more like I've not got as much
balanced.
to do. Yeah.
I think I usually have a bit of a wild Christmas, so by the time January comes around, I'm usually looking forward to it. But I think for me, when I looked at recapping my year, I kind of broke it down into 4 different segments. And the first part of my year, 2025, was all just planning, like because we had our diet we were doing for the photo shoot, so it was like planning to be prepared for the diet phase, planning for a busy year, planning for our extension, which was a big part of 2025 for me.
Yeah, January's always been like that, and I think obviously this is December right now. One thing that I've done with you guys and myself is plan ahead of time. Normally it gets to January and it's straight after Christmas, and I'm the same as you. Like Christmas is super sociable, drink a lot. I typically do though. Like I have a super social December. Me and you have always chatted about this. Alex is the same, and you go into January and I think you try and set goals in January, you're a little bit fuzzy-headed and you're kind of just clearing your feet. You've got so many clients to set up, you've got lots of marketing stuff to do. So that's the change I made this year. I actually thought, let's decide what we want in 2026 a month early. So we've sort of looked at that right now, which I think's been super useful, because normally it gets to January and I'm like, right guys, let's get motivated, let's set some goals, which I think's great, like it always works, but I actually feel better right now knowing pretty much what 2026, what I wanted to look like, and it's December right now.
It's hard for me to feel overly creative in January because I've got so much work to do.
Yeah.
And I actually mentioned that in the meeting yesterday. I was kind of saying it's a little bit harder sometimes for some of us to be as creative with whether it be content or thinking up new ideas for the brand or our own direction when we've just got more work to do. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you've only got so much space in your brain.
Yeah.
You need to be thinking logically and working and be quite autonomous with things rather than trying to take a minute and think outside the box with things. And January just gets so busy that there's not enough space for that for me a lot of the time. So it's more February that I start to get a bit more creative again and start thinking of what I want to actually get out of this year most of the time.
I see this is a lot, but like as a coach, you've got 2 jobs. It's like get clients and coach clients. You know, the coaching clients also leads to keeping them, so you could count that as well. But get clients largely comes from marketing. Coach clients largely comes from doing your job. But I think it's easy to sort of get stressed when you're not doing the things to get clients. Sometimes at a stage where you've got all the clients that you need and you're like, oh, I still need to be creating all this content. It's like, no, you don't. Like, you just do the job right now. You're kind of fine for a bit. And then you don't do it. And then you're like, shit, now I need to really do it. Yeah. So it's kind of hard, a hard cycle to get in.
We've been having the conversation recently about like, you've kind of asked me like, well, define what a successful day looks like to you. Define what a successful week looks like to you. And I struggle with that sometimes because what I have spent the last 4 or 5 years defining as a successful week, aka maybe like picking up 2 new clients, maybe training my arse off. Now my priorities have changed a little bit and I've got another role within MTN which takes up time and I don't need to have as many clients as I had before. Now I'm like, oh, I never picked up 2 clients this week. That must mean I'm doing a bad job right now.
Yeah.
When in actual fact, maybe I'm just putting my efforts elsewhere and I'm also retaining my clients much better because my service is better.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that, but I don't see that. I just see I'm not doing what I used to do. I'm not doing what I used to do now.
Yeah, for sure. I think the beginning of 2026 will be much different from the beginning of 2025 based on the fact that we've planned ahead. I'm so clear on like what I want to achieve, whereas previously I get caught in the nitty gritty of you've had a busy social ball Christmas and you roll into January, and it is like do the fundamentals, like get clients, coach clients, and everything else almost takes a bit of a back step, like the social media, the marketing side of things. But being clear ahead of time is giving me a little bit more freedom, I suppose.
Yeah, it's been proactive instead of reactive. I think we are very, in the last few years, have been very reactive in January. Shit, it's January. I've taken 2 or 3 weeks off. Let me get my finger out and let's put the work in now. I think this year also probably matured a little bit more. Probably will drink a little bit less this December in comparison to less. To previous, I know I will. Lewis, you've actually texted me saying that you're going to do this.
What?
You actually text me like July or something.
Be less sociable.
Straight off a big weekend, being like, nah, man. Really staying off it. Like December is just going to be pure chilled. Have Christmas, but that'll be about it. And then since December's turned, every day you're like pints.
No, actually, on the lead up to my holiday, I think it was about 10 weeks. Just never had any alcohol. That was probably off the back of a big weekend, a stag do or something. Yeah. And then it was 10 weeks dry. You just feel so much clearer. Yeah. But yeah, December rolls around. It's that gift that I keep putting in. Yeah. Get a pint, go to the pub, let it all blow over.
I love that period. But I also think we'll be able to enjoy that period a little bit more because we've planned ahead. So, I think if I was to look back from a lesson from Q1 last year, it was actually get ahead of the curve. Like plan your goals out end of December, which can be hard, especially when you're socialising. So do it now. If you've got time, have a look at and see what you want to achieve in 2026. Another thing that we obviously announced in January was that we're having a baby. That was some huge news, and it was a strange time for me from a building a business standpoint, because it wasn't just building it for me to go on extra holidays, which is pretty much why I build a business. It was very much, shit, I've got a business to build that's now to provide for, a baby. So that was a weird sort of mindset shift, which I think led to me having a bit more of a serious business head on for the year. Not to say that I don't always have that, but certainly it was more like focused effort, which was an interesting one. So from a life standpoint, that was a huge thing, just announcing that we were having a baby.
Did it feel like, was it more a positive motivation or was it a negative pressure?
Definitely positive. I've not felt any sort of negative pressure once. I think a lot of people, you'll have got this as well, Lewis, but you were much younger as well, but people were like, what did people keep saying? It was a phrase that people keep saying. I can't even think of it.
Just you wait kind of idea.
Just you away, like it's going to be so hard. Like your motivation's going to dip. Even like I read a lot of stuff about male test levels go down the pan when you have a baby, and it's to protect and provide, and that's the reason for it. But my drive's been skyrocketed. One since finding out, but two since even more so since having Harrison. Yes, you're sleepier and whatever else, but I've been way more motivated. I think you're like providing for someone.
I think if you're wired that way, you're always going to be like that. Yeah, I think people like to tell you about the bad things because I suppose there's always funny stories related to it. So when this happens, you know what I mean? Yeah. I seen a funny meme that I was going to send you yesterday, and that actually popped up, and it was like a parent says, "Oh, I'm glad they're over the kind of baby stage." And you've got other parents being like, yeah, you're just about to go into the toddler stage, which is mental. But do you know what? I say this to Danielle all the time. It's actually every stage you almost, or we sometimes like, I wish he's past this stage, but they go so quick. Like you
shouldn't wish them away.
No, not at all.
Nah, we don't. I don't feel like that right now. Don't get me wrong. 2 nights ago, felt like that. I wish he was not at this stage, but cool. So Q1, what else happened? January to March. One thing that was top of mind for me was the Anchorman-style video that we filmed for the 12-week peak. Now Lewis stays in Edinburgh. He was a little bit less involved in this year, but we've got big plans for 2026. So if you don't know what we're talking about, we decided to film the sort of promo video for the 12-week peak this year in the style of a movie, and we picked Anchorman. I dressed up as Ron Burgundy, and I done the full thing as a news report. I'll maybe put the video below so you can watch it. We've started to plan 2026. Don't want you to tell anyone what it is, but I want you to maybe tease what the movie is that we're going to use for 2026.
Don't know how I could tease it without...
You can be obvious-ish. Some people might not have seen it.
I'll give an example then. It's a film that I always want to say is my favourite film, but it's pure obvious.
Like a bit cliche?
It's a bit cliche to say it be my favourite film, so I don't say it.
Okay, Lewis? It's a phrase maybe.
The first thing I wanted to do was grab the mic and smash it against my head. And then just say, I'm not fucking leaving the studio.
Let's leave it there.
Let's leave it there.
That's perfect.
So we've got some big plans for the 12-week peak promo video. This is something that we put a lot of time, energy and money into. We're not sure if it's got a return, but it's quite fun. So that happened in Q1. That was a good laugh, and I'm really looking forward to that. 2026. The other thing that happened, Rosie and Peter joined the brand officially. And
Join the band.
Joined the band.
Getting Ben back
Peter's the
together.
guitarist. Rosie, what's Rosie?
She can just sing or something. I've not heard her sing yet though.
No, I've not heard her sing.
Could be good.
Rosie, give us a song. They've been such a key part to the team this year. I think it's been the full team's sort of changed since you guys first came on board, and this year's really felt like cemented. I think it's such a tight knit team, really good culture,
It's mental that
really
you
good
said
coaches.
that they just started at the beginning of the year. It feels like they've been here longer.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think
that's actually surprising.
spent like a reasonable amount of time. Like we've done quite a lot of things with them. Like obviously we get 2 weekly meetings. We spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah, obviously I've spent a lot of time with Rosie and Peter over the last year in our one-to-ones, and they're just, if I was to sum them up together, it's just two sponges.
Yeah.
And not just two sponges that soak everything up and maintain the information, like they soak it up and then they do something with it.
Yeah.
Like proper action takers, get things done quickly. Both ridiculously passionate about their own training, which I love. I think that translates really well into our job. I know it sounds like a really simple thing to say, but sometimes it doesn't. Both organised. Rosie is just mega knowledgeable. Peter is also mega knowledgeable, but Peter in different ways. And Peter also, Rosie made a really good point about Peter at one point, and just say, like, I don't think I've ever seen Peter in a bad mood. He's just consistently in a good mood.
Yeah.
Maybe he isn't. Peter, if you're struggling, talk to me.
Talk to Frank.
Yeah, but he does. He just shows up the same guy all the time and gets a good job done. And yeah, love that about him.
Yeah, they're both legends.
Rosie's just doing a great job.
They've just pure injected themselves into the team perfectly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Tanika, she was October before, but she's basically been this year as well. So Tanika, Rosie, and Peter have started. They've done a full year within MTN now, and it's been class. Been class watching their growth.
Perfect fits.
Definitely.
They're just such great people, and like say, I'm not around them too much, but as soon as I see them in person again, it's like, how's it going? Buzzing to see them again.
Yeah, really looking forward to Christmas night out.
Yeah,
can't wait. Can't wait. Any lessons from Q1 then? Do you remember anything from January to March last year that sort of stands out? Things that hit home, things that you needed to change about your life, you didn't like, or anything like that? Any standout moments?
I think for me, like I said, that first section of the year was all around planning and preparing for the rest of the year. So preparing for our diet, the photo shoot that we done, making sure my body was in a good place, making sure my mind was in a good place for how busy I know, being fully booked, rolling into 12-week peak, taking on a load of 12-week peak clients. So I think just get my life in order, but getting my body in order, get my mind in order.
So do you feel a bit better having done that this side of the year this time, knowing that you've got an extra few months to put in the work now?
I think I knew my life was going to get mental because a few months later we started knocking walls down as well. So I had all that, the kind of second quarter that we were rolling into, which I was kind of looking forward to, but I was a wee bit naive to the fact that it was a lot. Yeah. But I think if I never prepared properly, I would have been like a rabbit in headlights.
Yeah. Alex, anything in the first quarter of the year that stands out?
Mine is just a term that I started learning about at that time of the year that it kind of explained what I was feeling. So the term is, it's going to sound very fancy, the term was cognitive dissonance. And it's the pain you feel when your life doesn't match the potential you feel inside of you.
Oh, I love that.
So it's essentially if you're living a life that doesn't accord to your values anymore. I felt like there was areas of my life, mainly, and again, it does come after Christmas because I hit it hard boozing like last Christmas. And I came back into January. I didn't like what it done to my physique. I didn't like what it done to my bank account. I didn't like what it done to health-wise as well. It just didn't feel good. And there was also other aspects of my life as well. I was still very risk averse last year as well. Like I didn't plan for the future as well as I do now. Just felt like there was certain areas of my life that I just really wasn't happy with.
So do you think Q1 kind of brought that to light and allowed you to start making changes?
Kind of brought it to light. I started really getting to work on things, started saving money, started just putting a little bit more effort into every aspect of my life, I think. Like by the time I was looking back at photos, we were kind of talking about like how to remember what I did in Q1. I had to look at photos. I got myself in really good shape like for March. So like I know that I was training hard then. I know that I must have been eating right. I know that I must have got myself back. So there was and I remember kind of seeing that term, and it's really nice for me. I always kind of need to see an idea or a term to describe the feelings I'm having, because I struggle to sometimes articulate them myself.
For sure.
So it was nice to find a term like that, and it was probably off a podcast. It was maybe someone else's Instagram post. I don't know, but it was nice to go, oh shit, that's what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not happy. It's because I used to be okay with doing all this stuff, and now I'm not.
I massively resonate with that. Like, I didn't know that was the term.
Yeah.
Like, everything you're feeling there was stuff I've felt in the past, and like I've had multiple conversations with you being like, I know I can get here, but why am I not getting there? So I massively resonate with that. I didn't know that.
I think a big one's to like, do your actions match what the outcome that you want is? And that's almost always not the case for me, if that makes sense. Like, I'm always like, I know that if I had, much bigger following or much bigger influence, I would make more money, have a better quality of life, Will do your actions match that? Are you making daily consistent content? No. Okay. Right, we'll start there. I think it's quite obvious when you actually look at the things that you want in life to sort of start to break down. Well, one, what are the things that people that do have those things do? What do they do on a daily or weekly basis? That's where it starts. And two, I think are your current actions on a day-to-day basis in alignment with what you actually want? Because a lot of the time it's as simple as no, they're not. So
yeah, it's I think the word's intentional. Like, are you being intentional with what you do?
Yeah.
Like, if it's being intentional to me is, are you doing the things that get you closer to? And most of the time, I think everyone should have a very small percentage of time where you do stuff that doesn't get you closer to that. Like, I don't know, say you're on a mission to get in shape this year and you want to go out and have a meet these. Well, as long as you're perfect for the other, 90% of the year, that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Likely maybe even gets you back on track as well. But is what I am doing getting me closer on average towards where I want to be? And if the answer is no, you need to change it.
Yeah. Or you need to be okay with not achieving it. I think that's a big one, because people get fucked off.
Let it go.
People get fucked off about not achieving things, and I'm like, well, are you doing the things that you know are going to help you get there? And they're like, no. And I'm like, do you want to do them? No. Okay, you don't want to achieve it then.
I think I ask my clients this all the time. I think it's a very easy yes or no answer as well. And sometimes it's just, I must have heard in a podcast, it was just asking yourself the question, being like, are the actions that you're taking helping you towards your goal? And sometimes it's if you've not physically or verbalized the words, you kind of just like brush it off. I always call it like the ostrich effect. You kind of bury your head a little bit, but the sort of act of asking yourself the question just clicks something. It's a psychological.
Yeah. For sure.
I heard it in a podcast. It was really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move into Q2. Lewis, I think this was when you first started renovating your house, so I'd like you to start off chatting a little bit about that. I'm going to chat a little bit about some trips I went on, some things that I learned from that, and then we've got some to our week peak, winners, ball, things like that to discuss as well. I'm sure Alex has got some cool points as well. So let's kick things off. You started renovating your house. Tell us more.
Yeah, so quarter one was planning, quarter two was committing to everything that we'd planned, like business-wise was all the diet and the photo shoot and everything. And then my home life was literally sort of turned up in the air. It wasn't too bad the first few weeks until we started knocking walls down, and we committed to be like, right, we'll just move around the house according to whatever room they're working in. And to be fair, it was good weather for 8 to 10 weeks. So April, May, June, we had a run of really, really good weather, which helped. But yeah, like the corner of my house got taken down.
I don't know how you done that. I honestly, I've said that, I've told you a story before, but Alan was decorating my house for like 10 days, and it was just my living room.
Yeah.
And I was in the worst mood for 10 days because I didn't have my own space, couldn't relax my sofa, couldn't watch what I wanted. There was sheets everywhere, there was dust. I fucking hated it. Like, I do not know how the fuck you've got through a renovation whilst having 2 kids. Running essentially 2 businesses. Fuck that. Well done.
It was
I think getting in shape.
It was, but that was part of my like mindset and goal. Like, I wanted to prove to people that running a business, like
being a dad,
having all this going on, doing that, and could still get in shape. I almost had a bit of a chip on my shoulder, being like, right, if I can do it, then I'm sort of leading from the front, and I can say, well, actually, it's a sort of bit cliche, or you've not got time, or you've got this on. Well, it still can be done. That was a big thing for me.
Well, I think a lot of people don't sign up to coaching or fitness programs or commit to things because of I'm too busy. And I love just looking at, well, why don't you sign up when you're at your busiest?
Yeah.
Because I think if you can learn to master fat loss, muscle building, training, nutrition, whatever else, whilst you're really fucking busy, then when it gets to the stage where you're not busy, it's like, well, life just gets easy. So much easier to manage fitness and nutrition training when you're not as busy.
Yeah.
They are always basing how much time it takes to get in shape off of the last time that they tried. And the last time that they tried, they lasted 2 weeks. The time before, they lasted 1 week, aka the times when it takes you the longest to do everything because it's so new. So you never get past that stage where a lot of my clients get to if they're like 12 weeks into a dieting phase, a maintenance phase, whatever it is. Once they're 12 weeks in, it all starts becoming so autonomous and it gets quicker.
Yeah.
And once you're there, you start to go, I can actually fit all this in at the stage I'm at now. Whereas if you're always going back to the beginner stage again, you're like, I told you tracking my food takes ages. I was like, aye, because you only ever did it for a week, so you're not that good at it yet. It's not quick yet.
Same with training. Like,
Same with
my
training as
training
well.
takes ages. It's like, well, that's because you need to figure out what weights to lift.
Yeah.
But all three of us could walk in a gym right now and I could tell you exactly what weight I would lift for 8 to 10 reps on every exercise. Pretty much like every, and it's because you've done it so many times. So that's such a good point. I think that's such a good lesson for people to learn. Like, it takes you so much longer because you keep starting again. And I think I actually wrote something on my phone earlier this week about starting again, see if I can find it real quick. And it was just relating to everyone starts over until one day they have to stop starting over. You don't realise this because they only show the time that it worked. And I think that's such a key thing to remember. Like, every single person that's achieved some level of success didn't do it first time. Like, almost everyone, it wasn't first time. They tried, failed, succeeded, and then they posted about the time that they succeeded. And I think that's something that a lot of people miss out on. They only see the time that they succeeded. Because it's the same with dieting and getting in shape. Like, I spoke about this on another podcast earlier this week. Being able to maintain a physique that you love year round isn't 12 weeks away. It's probably 10 years away.
Yeah.
And that is so demotivating for people to hear. But right now, I love, and this might sound vain, but I love how I look almost all of the year. December, after 2 weeks of fucking debauchery, maybe not, but like, outside of that, I'm really happy with how I look. I'm always 6 weeks away from being like really, really lean, and I'm always, I suppose 8 to 10 weeks away from like peak performance from a strength standpoint. And I think it took me a while to realise, like, that's lots of different phases away. That's not next week. You're getting that. That's not 12 weeks away. That's not the 12-week peak. That's the 12-week peak plus a maintenance phase, plus a growth phase, plus a 12-week peak, plus maybe doing that 2 or 3 more times. Nicole Hunter, perfect example of this. Nicole Hunter's done the 12-week peak maybe every time, maybe 5 times. As a vegan as well, which is even more impressive. Every single year, her maintenance physique, as in her walkabout physique year round, gets better and better. The physique that she just walks about on a day-to-day basis now is better than her first ever 12-week peak physique.
Oh, absolutely.
By a long shot.
Absolutely.
Because she just committed for a long time.
Yeah.
I think
that has been the best part of 5 years through multiple diet phases, working with me, with coaching, doing the growth project as well. So she's been under our wing in some capacity for the best part of 5 years, now working with Jay as well. Unreal. I message her quite frequently. She sent me obviously photos of her at her wedding.
Oh, flexing.
She looks unreal.
Class.
But yeah, it's that compounding effect. And I think 2 figures you said there, I'm kind of like you. Like, if I'm 6 weeks away from looking my best, I'm pretty happy with where I am kind of year round. And the 10-year thing, I heard that, and it resonates so much with me. A lot of people think that when I posted my house, I'd love a house like that. Folk think I just got it. Do you know what I mean? It's like literally 10 years of saving and working towards and building, and then they think you're an overnight success. You can see it in so many kind of different walks of life and different people.
Yeah, whether it's social media, whether it's business growth, whether it's money in a bank, whatever. Like, it takes a lot of fucking time. Q2, Alex, anything that stands out for you during April to June?
Was the biggest work period of probably my life so far, I would have said.
How many 12-week peak clients did you handle?
I felt 107.
On top of how many bespoke clients?
Maybe
30.
Well, I had some clients that were doing the 12-week peak, so I don't know, maybe like 25 to 30 just clients.
Madness.
Working with 100 clients.
It was a lot.
Too much.
It was too much. I also just white knuckled the full thing and just decided that whenever I felt stressed, that I wasn't stressed, and that was my biggest lesson from Q2, was that I should have taken a couple more steps back throughout that time period. It just shows up elsewhere for me. Like if I'm majorly stressed, it will just show up elsewhere in my mood and the way I act and the decisions I make, and even just down to things like going out or my training dropped, my nutrition wasn't as good. It just shows up somewhere else. Like it will come out at some point. So that was my biggest lesson from Q2 into Q3, was you need to just get better at taking a step back when you're feeling that stressful feeling, and it doesn't make you any less of a man for doing that, because actually you'll be much less of a man for everyone around about you when you're feeling like that.
This is the same lesson for me during that exact same period, and it was based on, like, for me, like the hardest work blocks, January, February, March, building and delivering the 12-week peak. I'm a little bit less involved in delivery now. You guys are really heavily involved in delivery. Mine is very much building it. So for me, building the 12-week peak was that just work, like head down, no distractions, no trips, no holidays, no events. It's very much just like work. And then for me in April, I think it was, I was just like, why do I feel this way? I've just had the biggest launch of my life. 582 people are following a program that I built. I've got a team of, 7 or 8 amazing coaches at the time. We're having a baby. We've got our house. Like, everything was just perfect. And I just remember speaking to you and Alan quite consistently, because I've seen them in the gym. And I was like, why did I not feel happy? Like, I didn't feel depressed. I didn't feel anxious. I just felt like a bit numb. And I was like, what is going on? And he's like, mate, you probably need a break. Yeah. He's like, you probably need a few days off. You probably need to go and chill. You probably need to go and reflect on what the fuck you've just achieved. Yeah. And that was, like, for me, I think it was Palma me and Kirsty went to, and it was one of my favourite trips this year. Phenomenal. Just a few days. Kirsty was pregnant. She wasn't drinking, so it wasn't like a boozy holiday. We cycled up and down the beach, went for nice dinners, rented a car. It was just like a beautiful, like, scenic little trip. And me and you have spoke about this a lot recently, and it's something that we're doing in January, if not before then. The full team, we're going to plan consistent breaks throughout the year. Doesn't need to be 2-week holidays, week holidays. It's 3 or 4 days where your phone goes off, you tell clients you're having a few personal days, whatever else. I just think it makes you a better person. I think it makes you a better coach. I think it makes you a better partner. I know it'll make me a better dad.
100%.
Taking more time off. I think that's one of my biggest lessons for this year. Not as in more big blocks of time, but more consistent breaks every sort of 6 to 8 weeks. That's definitely a lesson I had in that quarter.
I think with me, I didn't really realise that, because I popped that down my phone. I didn't really realise that lesson until much later in the year. So like you said, you touched on it there, I kind of white-knuckled through that period of time, and probably why I wasn't as stressed with having a big hole in the side of my house was because I didn't have time to focus on what was happening in my house. And to be fair, I tried to lay my hand to a few things. I'm fucking useless at laying bricks. But
we definitely knew that. You post a video like, I just felt with the boys today, and I was like, that was definitely 3 minutes.
You're like that.
Honestly, I just go out and be like, how's it going, guys? What
it's like they're carrying big beams and you're sort of in the middle, like half holding
one hand like that. But
happy help, guys.
I just didn't have time to focus on what was happening in the house, because I had, like you said, 100 clients to kind of help, and I didn't realise how, I don't really like the term burnt out, but I realised later in the year, because again that continued through Q2 right into Q3, and off the back of the 12-week peak you had lots of clients still on board who wanted to continue, and it was much later in the year I realised I was like, I need to take a break, because for me, I massively notice it. If I'm stressed, I'm just not a good person to be around.
Well,
but it comes from a good.
Tell me about
it. It comes from a good place, as in, like, you reach a new level, and we always discuss this. You reach a new level, and it unlocks a higher level.
Yeah, it just unlocks other problems as well. Yeah. Like, I think a lot of people think when you achieve something, like, your problems go away. I think it just opens up other problems. Like, signing up almost 600 clients just created, 600 people with potential problems. So, like, it's a good thing. Yes, cool. It makes the business grow, but it does certainly open up other areas to try and solve.
Surface area is surface area. Like, if you've got more opportunities to get more results, it's also more opportunities for people to have a bad experience.
Yeah, 100%.
and that's when you're scaling something without strengthening up the backbone behind it, it's just going to break. And and I think we did a pretty good job, if I'll be honest with you.
I think we always
did
do
a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think
really
service delivery and customer support within MTN is something I bang on about because I think it's so good. I think there's other things that other coaches probably do better, maybe differently. See, when it comes to customer care, accountability, actual giving people what they signed up for, I don't think we're beating on that.
It's got better and better. It's compounding effect over the last 5 years.
Let's chat a little bit about the 12-week peak. It's obviously our biggest programme. It's the thing that a lot of our years sort of centred around. It's the hardest 3 months of our working year, but it's the most fulfilling as well, certainly for me. Hopefully for you guys as well. But I think seeing the client results, seeing the client feedback, seeing the clients in the photo shoot day. So just give me your thoughts, feelings, insights on both the shoot, the ball, the winners. Kick things off with Lewis.
I think, like you said, the surface area, you're dealing with...
Lewis is going to be like, I had the winner.
A few winners, I think...
Oh shit, Don Ant.
Top three. I think
dealing there. Over in Edinburgh, just winning.
Dealing with more people gives you the opportunity to have more chances to just, without saying 7 and 2 sort of cliche, change people's lives. There was so many people that reached out. I had 70 or 80 people that I was dealing with and working with in 12-week peak. Just gives you that opportunity to just have more impact. That's one thing that we kind of brush over, but you have more and more impact with more and more people.
So interesting, because I was thinking about this, and this is why I think for this year, I agree, but I do wonder, and that's what we're going to test this year. More impact with lots of people, or do you have a bigger impact with a smaller amount of people because you've got more time? And that's kind of what I want to test this year. So I think for all the coaches we've discussed this year, cool, you had fucking 100 odd clients, you had 75 the last 3 years or something like that. I think we're going to cap it for coaches this year. I think the coaches are going to have a little bit less. We're going to cap the program so that it's what it should be. It should be high quality, and I'm interested to see what the quality is like, because I've had periods when I was building MTN 12-week peak and whatever else. I had 150 people I was in contact with, and it becomes a ticker box. It doesn't become a deliver what you know you can, and I felt that. I hated feeling like that. Don't know about you. Did you feel anything like that this year? Or
I felt like I could have done a better job last year, and I'll give myself grace on it because I actually don't think I could have, but I wanted to.
Yeah, if you had less.
And the numbers were holding me back from doing that. Like I say, just thought, let's just white knuckle it and do
what you can,
the same as I always have done, and just keep pushing and keep contacting folk and get back to people as fast as possible. There was a point right towards the end, right before the photo shoot, where we always speak about this, you'll have most contact with people at the start. Throughout the middle, there's a kind of area where contact's not as necessary because people aren't needing quite as many changes, etc. We obviously do put a lot of stuff out there to help people make their own decisions on things, and then we kind of confirm it with them. And then towards the end, there's a lot of people that are very, very lean, and these last couple of weeks really count.
Yeah, it can be hard emotionally.
It's really tough, So hard emotionally, it really counts what changes you make at that point as to whether they're a great result or a phenomenal, as Dave likes to say, result. It's always a word you use. I went to say phenomenal there, and I was like, I don't use that word.
I think I type it more than I say it. I say it a lot as well.
No, I don't think so.
That's what
a nailer.
Yeah,
I'm a banger. Banger result. Banger result, man.
That's a wham result, man.
Oh, wow. Looking wham, mate. So I was already stressed out, and then that period hit, and I was like, well, I've got no choice but to keep giving the service I've been given, and I don't feel great doing it. And that's when I felt this just ridiculous dip in my mental health right as soon as it finished.
I think it comes from a place of care, though. Like, you care so much, because I feel like this.
You do.
You care so much about getting these people a result, but on the other side, there is just a capacity of time you've got in your life. There's only 24 hours in a day. There's only so many clients you can realistically work with before it just becomes sort of unfathomable. Do you know what I mean? So, but it comes from a good place because you care. So if you were to take on 10 more, you'd care the same about those 10 more. From 100 to 110, you still want to give the extra 10. It's not as if you're disregarding them. You care about them all and get them a result. But there is a set amount of time you can...
There's a lesson from Alex with regards to... He said there, something that he's better at than me and taught me this year is I just had to keep showing up even though I didn't feel like it. I went through a lull this year. I think I've just spoke about it. And I don't feel like I kept showing up. I was very much like, I'd cancel meetings, I'd not show up, I'd be like, guys, I'll speak to you next week. And for me, it's speaking to you guys, it's the coaches, it's not clients. And that's something that someone actually brought up to me, like in a meeting. They were like, you know, you are the leader of the company. There should be a point where if you don't feel yourself, you do need to kind of grim and bear it sometimes and just crack on. And saying that at the time, I was like, oh, it feels like a kick in the stones. It doesn't feel good. But it's actually one of the most helpful things that somebody said to me this year. And I changed my phone background, like I've discussed, to if you can't show up for your team, don't expect them to show up for your business. And I think upon changing that, it like unlocked something in my head, being like, do you know what? I'm going to have another period. I have 2 or 3 periods every year where I feel like dog shit. I don't feel phenomenal. And I think now it's very much cool. You can still feel like that. You can let people know you feel like that, but you still need to show up. I think that's something I've learned from this year that I want to do more and better of in 2026.
Yeah, for me, it's knowing that if I feel shit, the number one way to feel even more shit is to cancel stuff today. That's just my thought process.
Yeah.
And people will be like, no, like, you know, take a mental health day and go back to bed and just.
That is what I do.
I will feel. I
sleep it off, man.
I actually can't, because if I do that, I'll just feel worse.
Yeah.
Because then
I'm a bit like that.
I'll just, I love myself as well, so maybe that doesn't help. But going back to the flat and spending the day in the flat on my own, just with my thoughts going round all day,
That's
on
my
a day
dream.
on a day where I'm not on it.
That's my fucking dream,
But
man.
wait till I've got away from kids and I'll be wishing I was back in that flat. I'll be like, get in for the flat. But I do. I would just go home and just let that spin in my head for ages. And I would rather, and this is a point to take into account as well, I always feel so much better when I feel like I've taken the thought away from my brain for the day and just focused on just helping someone else with something else.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that gives me a sense of accomplishment. They feel better because they've been helped. They've got value from me. I feel better because I've given value and I feel like I've done a good job there.
Yeah.
So that's a net positive for both those people there. Not just me just sitting thinking about
100%.
things.
Love that. I want to do more of that in 2026. I think I've got better towards the tail end of this year, but I certainly know that there's been points in the past where I've been like, I don't feel good. I think part of that comes from I don't feel good. What value can I add today? I don't want to be a sad sack and speak to you guys. If I've, do you know what I mean? Like, genuinely, that's where it comes from. Equally, I don't need to speak about my feelings. Like, I can listen to what's going on in your life and maybe help you in that space.
I think as well, when you're capable enough, you can autonomously add value to someone else.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that I'll speak about in meetings, I don't need to feel good to deliver them in a good way. I know it.
Yeah,
So it's okay. I can show up and get that job done.
Yeah.
And someone will get some value from that.
One big thing that also happened in 2025 Q2 was Alan and Jay joined the team. Alan and Jay. Alex knew Alan extremely well, and I probably knew Jay a little bit more. So give us a little bit of an insight into Alan joining the team, what that looked like.
Yeah, so Alan started with me as a one-to-one client, like 3 years ago now it must be.
Like in-person coaching?
In person, yeah. So his now wife, but at the time fiance, Madison, chased me down the Commando car park and said, hey, sorry to bother you, but will you coach my fiance? I think he was fiance at the time. Will you coach my fiance? And I was like, who is this mad woman chasing me down the car park?
And Madison, if you don't know Madison, please, we'll tag her in the show notes.
Yeah.
It's in the name.
You should
I
mad,
was like, who is this? It was so funny. But Madison just being so bubbly and warm like she is, I was like, yep, what's up kind of thing. And she said, you know, I'm going to get my fiance Alan to give you a shout. And then I coached Alan in person twice a week, every single week for 2 years.
And what was your first opinions on Alan?
At first, I was just amazed at how one person could ask so many questions. It was ridiculous. Like, I've honestly, and I've told him this as well, I'm like, how can you have more questions for me?
I've answered them all.
But looking back, thank God he did, because it put him in the best possible position to now do what he does. And also, you know, to be selfish for 2 seconds, it was a nice confidence boost for me because he never asked me anything I didn't know. Yeah. And I was like, right, okay, so I actually might be a little bit better than this than I thought I am. Maybe one day I could tell other coaches how to do that. So there was like a little bit of a flick of a switch that happened when Alan did come on board. But yeah, from getting to know Alan to now has been just one of the craziest character development stories I've ever witnessed.
For both of you, actually?
It's been really cool, actually. It's been really cool. And to now being one of my best mates, and is now one of my best mates, to just being someone that used to be a client is really, really cool. Yeah, really cool.
I think it's been class watching Alan grow because Alan's such a he's inquisitive guy, like lots of questions. But again, we talked about Rosie and Peter being sponges. Alan's the exact same. Fuck me, like so literal. So, Jay, what I'll speak about in a minute, but you tell Alan to do something and it's done. Like he's just such an action taker, and he's just got a lot of respect for MTN, but us three as well. And I think that just shows he wants to do the best. And it's shown he scaled from like 4 online clients before he joined MTN to like, I don't know, 37, 38. Like he's smashed it out of the park. I've never seen somebody's business growth as quick as his. And it comes down to his ability to just ask questions, but also put himself out there. Ask for sales in person, like to anyone.
That
like
was-
the woman at Tesco.
That was his biggest thing. Like Alan didn't have an audience. I mean, when I say I didn't have an audience, had no audience.
Yeah.
Maybe like
Yeah.
100 folk. It took him ages to get 100 folk in his Instagram page. I remember that period of him posting things, and he was like, "Mate, what's the point in this?" He's like, "I'm getting like 2 likes," and I'm like, "Just please stick with it."
Yeah.
Don't know if I would have. Like,
Yeah.
I actually put myself in his shoes, and I think, would I have stuck with that? Maybe I'd have been more impatient than he was. He just didn't take no for an answer. Like, there was plenty of things telling him that wasn't going to work out, and he was just like, no, I'm doing this for sure.
Yeah, just a
and
grafter with
it was being as inquisitive as and as ruthless as he was in the pursuit of being great at this that has brought him here.
Yeah, and his
He's done an amazing
attention to
job.
details, absolutely
Attention
class.
to
And,
details, massive.
Jay, different story actually. Kind of came from a client standpoint as well. Jay won the 12-week peak 2024, won the coaches version, and he won sort of 6 weeks
coached
worth
him.
of. Did you?
Did you?
Aye.
Damn. He won 6 weeks
That was a
worth
couple of years
of worth of business kind of mentoring from me, like to build his in-person business, what it was at the time. So I sat with him for 6 weeks and helped him build stuff. And even at the time, I was like, in a year, I think he'll be fucking in a good place. Like, he was brand new to PT at the time. He was still a teacher part-time. He was a teacher full-time, PT and part-time.
Yeah.
So I kept in contact with Jay throughout that period. And he actually said, he's like, when I signed up to the 2024 12-week peak, my intention was to win the coaches one, win mentoring with you, and then work with MTN at some point. He's like, I didn't know if I'd do it in 18 months, but I've done it. It's quite
So,
cool because you came from...
Exactly. It's so
That's
funny
cool.
when Jay first came on board and I was chatting away to him and learning more about him. Never at that point realised he was a teacher, and a lot of the things that I'd done, he done as well. So obviously they won the coaches 12-week peak. He was a PE teacher. I was studying to be a PE teacher before I had a bit of a career change, and just a lot of kind of where his mindset was at that time resonated massively with me. So and he's kind of went stratospheric as well, from a handful of clients to 30 odd clients.
Two of their growth's been class, and I think a big part of that's again blowing our own trumpets, but like they have us as well. They have good people to learn from, and they'll say that themselves as well. But they can learn from a lot of the mistakes. They don't make the mistakes that we did. They're also at different, especially Alan's at a different stage in his life. Like when I was building my business, same with you guys, like young, out all the time, booze bags. Like, do you know what I mean? Like drinking a lot. We spoke a lot about being alcoholics in this podcast, to be honest, but we were
It's
like
the season.
Yeah, Christmas is pints out. But yeah, I think it's been cool seeing their growth. They're two like locked in, bought in coaches. They both bring something really different to MTN. So total credits to the brand for sure. Moving on to Q3, that was July, August, September. I had a baby. Your house got finished. Did it?
Well, no, it
No?
was still, that was when we were in the depths of it. Like, no kitchen, part walls coming down, but then we started upstairs as well. So, no bedroom. We slept on our living room floor for the best part of 8 or 9 weeks with a mattress, which was fun.
Okay, so that
I
was
think.
Q3 for you. Q3 for me was having a baby, taking some time off, some social kind of things. Post 12-week peak as well, like life's a little bit less mental, or is it? We'll speak about that in a second. And Alex, Q3 for you, what did that sort of involve?
Best memory from them was when me, you and Alan went to London. That was a great laugh.
Yeah.
That was something that we did. And
Annual trip next year, we're doing it as a boys trip.
yeah.
You're not invited. Totally kidding. I know. No, we'll do it as all the MTN lads will do that next year, I think.
Yeah. Very self-development heavy. Off the back of my stressful period, was like, right, this can't happen again. So made changes to work on myself, be better. I wanted more tools on how to deal with when I was feeling like that. I just didn't deal with it well last time. So I was like, okay, well, how do I fix that? I need to work on myself here. So very self-development heavy, learning heavy, podcasts, couple of books, like just anything that I could kind of get my hands on that I thought that'll maybe benefit me here. And also just tried to get a bit better at just letting off that little kind of air valve and speaking to people about how I was feeling before I felt like it. So just picked a few people that I was close to and just decided to just keep them updated on how I was doing.
Right.
And it worked a treat.
He's not
It worked really,
updated
really
me
well.
once.
Nah.
He's not updated me once.
I don't think he meant us. I don't think he meant us.
It was Madison.
Yeah, I don't want to get slanged. That wasn't help, right? Nah, I'm looking. Yeah.
Same thing, no?
Just for anyone listening, David was one of them, by the way. So
Yeah.
aye. He's taking
me
the
then, was it?
He's taking the piss. He's taking the piss.
You're too far away.
You've got 2 kids to worry about. Me.
No,
Don't worry
it's
about you.
actually like you had a lot of like personal growth. Actually, I mean, since I've fucking known you, Jesus Christ, like I've actually.
Been a couple of potholes in the road.
Oh my God.
A couple of stars.
Potholes and a fucking craters. You've changed a lot since I've known you, Jesus. I've known you 11 years. I've seen every phase of your adult life pretty much.
Yeah, you actually have.
Which is mad because
From boy
there's
to
been
man.
there's some mental phases in there.
I know
But it's been class, and I think this year, I actually have said it to you probably for the last definitely 2, maybe 3 years. Like I've never seen you grow so much. So it's actually been every year that you've made massive change.
Yeah.
And I think every year there's been 1 or 2 big movers as well, which has been class.
I said that to him the other day there on the meeting. He doesn't take compliments very well. So I jumped right in. I was like, Alex, actually, I am proud of you. Because I kind of...
I love that.
I
was nice.
see myself and Alex, even though I'm a bit older, and I always message him saying like how proud I am, and I don't mean that as a patronising way. Far, far from it. Like he inspires me as well. Yeah, and I say that. I jumped in the meeting and I said how proud I was of you.
You did. No, it was nice.
And he texted me yesterday, he was like, see, tomorrow I'm going to fucking make you cry on this podcast. Yeah, I'm coming out. I'm like, Alex, I'm proud of you, mate.
Thank you, mate. I'm proud of you as well.
Me too. You
I'm
proud
proud
of
of you
yourself?
too. Yeah, that's a hard one. What we delve into that,
Get the tissues.
Yeah. No, like, and that I know that to be true because I don't ever focus on the good for too long. I let it pass me by. You're the same.
Oh.
I think you're the same as well sometimes. I'd say you're
better.
you're better
Yeah.
now, I'd say.
I'm not.
But I think it's a case of like something good happens, yeah, as it should, and then something bad happens and it's like, well, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. It's a little bit of that I'm in.
Yeah,
and to the point, even where if someone says, I am proud of you, like it took me ages to just, I'm like, I don't believe you, you're just being nice. And like you've said there, you prefaced that with that because that's how you also feel.
Yeah.
Like you
Yep.
said that to me, like, I'm not just being nice, I mean this. And that's because someone had to say that to you as well to mean it too.
Absolutely.
That's
I think
funny.
it does come from like a almost a good place, but I'm terrible for just being like, right, what's the next thing? Oh, I'm not proud of that. Like, big thing obviously this year for me is getting the house. Right, what's the next thing? Like,
Yeah.
I can't just sit.
Yeah, like
and-
you've literally just bought your forever home. Not like a, like my house right now is what I deem to be like a stepping stone house. And I love it, it's lovely. But yours is like, I will be here for 30 or 40 years unless, something happened, but like I'm here. I think you've actually paused to realise that most people don't do that until they're probably 40, 45, maybe even
Yeah.
50.
Once-
Certainly nowadays.
I've only done it once. I was sat in my back garden during the summer and I was like,
You have a
this
pint
is
in your
mine.
hand.
I was actually trying to do work outside, but I think
did
I
you
had
have
a
a pint in your hand?
bottle. Yeah, I had a bottle of Corona, and it's not like me.
Maybe
to
we're
get a wee
figuring
bit
out what the
emotional.
issue is here.
Yeah, got a wee bit emotional. I'd be tearing my eye, I'd be like, oh, but that's once in a year. It's probably still not sunk in. I don't know if it should.
And if you think about how much time you spend per year looking at things negatively and worrying about stuff,
Yeah.
it's probably 99% to the 1% where you felt like happy with yourself there.
I've got better at realising that my sort of negative thoughts come from a good place because I want to achieve so much. So I've kind of went full circle and realised that, but I'm still not great at the stepping stones of being like, yeah, I'm grateful for that, take a moment for that.
Are you worried about getting to the place that you feel is exactly where you'd want to be and still not being happy?
I'm not worried at that.
just
That was
knows
like
it's
the
gonna
podcast
happen.
I was listening to coming through. It was talking about just being kind of almost like being at peace with yourself. I always think, I'll be happy when I get there.
And what in your head are those things? Is it numbers? Is it money in the bank? Is it?
I think it was getting the house. And it's not that I'm not happy. Like, I love my house. But now it just nudges that ceiling up the way. We speak about that. I've reached that ceiling the last few years. Right, what's next? How? But there gets to a point where it doesn't matter how high the ceiling is. You can, if it's like earnings, like I can provide opportunities for my kids that I never had, that's something to be grateful for. But I'm just like, oh, like it's like climbing Kilimanjaro, then climbing Everest. Do you know what I mean? There's always that next peak that you're working towards.
I think someone said to me about business once, "You'll never be done." And they said it to motivate me. And initially I was like, fucking hell, that's depressing. Like, I'll never be done. And then I was like, actually, that's a good thing. Like, there's always like a constant act of pursuing more. Whether that's business, physique, health, like you can always be healthier, fitter, maybe not leaner, but you know what I mean? Like, you can always push more for these things. You can push for more money, a better relationship. And that's, again, why the value, like, better than yesterday. Like, I love it. Like, I think it actually encapsulates what not the company's about, but like what I'm about as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I always want like that sort of constant strive for more. Maybe not the right answer, because actually I think more recently I've changed my mindset on more, and there's certain things that I'm like, no, I'm good with that now. I'm happy with that area. I don't need more of that. I'm good there. And there's other areas where I'm like, more is consistently the thing that I want.
Yeah. Like I broke down like better than yesterday at one point, and I was like, it's if you start to like look at it a little bit more and dissect it a little bit more, it's probably better than we give ourselves credit for, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Because it genuinely means, if you break it down, that better is always available.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be a tomorrow and there's always going to be a yesterday.
Yeah.
So aka up until the day you die, you can always be better than yesterday because it's always available. And that's the nice thing about that saying.
I'm going to get it tattooed on me. Fuck
Good.
it.
Let's do it.
Back of my neck.
Yeah.
I'm
the
gonna
lads
get
trip,
it.
we could
Or
just
my
turn
toe.
that into
I
a
was going to say I'll
stag
get it
do.
on my calf, but I don't want to draw attention to them.
Turn the lads trip into a stag do and we'll get tattoos.
Oh, funny story about calves. I wondered if you want to get involved in this. So, you're like, yeah, don't care what it is.
Aye, let's do it.
So, I reckon I'll probably get married in a kilt, because I don't think there's that many periods where you wear a kilt, and I think, fuck it, I want to wear a kilt. But I remember you actually joked when I told you this, and you were like, fuck that, I'm not wearing a kilt, because my legs are a bit, and I've got some skinny ass pins. So I thought we could make an Instagram series where we document building kilt calves. It could be like a weekly series of us just smashing calves and seeing if they grow.
100 sets.
I hate to tell you, I've been smashing them in the last 8 weeks and nothing's happened.
What's the kind of volume you're doing on them?
6 sets a week.
Aye.
6 sets 4 exercises a week, 3 sets each.
It needs way more.
They don't,
I think you should. I think you can get this stage where you train them every day. The way that I see calves, so there's two people that have calves. Number one, fat people, and number two, hill climbers.
Yeah.
And those that have the biggest calves
Dads.
are fat hill climbers.
It's
Genuinely,
just-
people
it's
with a lot of body
consistent
weight have fucking amazing calves, and it's because they're on them every day. So maybe you just need to get really fat.
So what? We all know that's not going to happen. So let's maybe I'll just wear a 40 kilo weighted vest just my whole for the next year and just see what happens.
And climb hills.
Yeah,
I think it would work.
I don't want to climb hills. That's boring.
I also
Sorry,
think-
the hill walkers out there.
Like, it's funny, like dads have calves, and I'm a bit like, when am I going to get to that stage? Is there a level up?
So I
as
feel
you
that
become a
I feel
dad?
I'm there with forearms. So you know you get like old guy forearms. You get like a strong handshake.
Yeah.
Both my forearms. I think
wonder where this
I think
podcast
I'm
is
there.
going.
I feel like I've got quite masculine. I feel like I've got quite a masculine like upper body. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's a man. Got a man's body, but I've got wee guys set of legs. So I definitely work on them, man. And do you know what the annoying thing is? Same with you. Like, my actual squat numbers were fucking great.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm weak. I'm actually really, my deadlift numbers are great still.
Yeah.
I just don't have very much muscle in my legs.
Yeah.
It's quite embarrassing, really.
I love a kilt, so
You've
I'm
got
happy.
quite, I'd say you've got a good manly set of legs.
Yeah.
Shame about the rest of you.
I think it's maybe playing football for.
Nothing else manly
I
about
wouldn't
you.
even
I
say playing
think
football.
I actually think no, but to be honest with you, mate, the common denominator for me when I ask guys like, "Oh, you're like got a good solid set of legs, then not really trained," is football.
Is
most
it?
of the time.
Yeah.
Aye, I never played football.
I've always noticed that with guys like, "Oh, I don't train my legs, mate." And I'm like, "Well, your legs are class, and I like football."
I don't cry, so I've got a good set of hips. That's about it.
Aye.
See, I've not stretched for 20 years of playing
No.
football, so can't squat.
Aye.
Right, let's get back to Q3. July to September, big things that happened. I had a baby. That was pretty fucking
pretty
big.
large.
He's an absolute legend.
Yes.
He's 14 weeks now, so that's been a life change, but I'll be completely honest, not as much of a life change as other people made out, and I will caveat that by saying I am in control of my own diary. I can move that stuff about, which has made me extremely grateful for running my own business. Like, I've never felt the level of gratitude right now that I have towards running my own business, managing my own diary, being able to move things, having that flexibility for meetings if we need to move them, and I've got a doctor's appointment or whatever else. love that. And I think out with, you know, how shit the fucking UK government is right now and tax rates and whatever else, I still
get me started.
don't think I'd want a job purely based on having young kids. I think the ability to have that kind of flexibility and freedom's been amazing for me, and I absolutely love it, and you'll get experience that soon. We've spoke, probably didn't have that because you had Lily so young that you were like, I just need to work. Like I'm at that period.
I do think that, and I always say this, every year you're self-employed or run a business is another year that there's no danger that you could go back. Like after a couple of years I realised there's no way I could be like
Employed.
managed or employed or it's just you just blow heads with your manager like very, very quickly on.
I think the nicest thing about our relationship, and probably also your relationship with David as well, is that David will come to us with an idea on how the way that he thinks things should work, and that's always open to a conversation.
Oh, for sure.
Whereas I think if I had
a boss,
like an employer,
company, an employer that said, this is the way you do things, and there is no movement on that, I would feel very frustrated if I didn't think it was the right way to do things. And that might be me, I might be wrong, but I think the conversation had on that really helps. Like, by the way, here's what I'm proposing. What do you think?
Yeah, and I changed things, like, you'll know this, like you've both been there pretty much since day one, and things have changed almost always, if not always, benefit everyone more from, you know, lots of different areas. Even like recently, that change I made that we're meeting about after this, find out more on that soon.
Big things coming. Those
are always open for discussion. I think that's what I like about having, what we haven't always think, would it be good to just employ, you know, have coaches that do what I say, but I just think this is motivating. I don't think they would enjoy work as much because they don't feel as much in control. Like, you guys have a lot of control over, well, you complete control over your own diary time, clients that you manage, clients that you take on, ditch, whatever else. Like, you've got complete control over that, which I think's massive. But
it's one of the things that didn't take much of an arm twist to get me on board, but it's one of the things that got me over the line, and I've said this to you since day one. When we first spoke about coming on board, you were like, in no way, shape or form am I your boss. Like, it's very collaborative. Yeah, I came up with I grow, we grow, MTN grows, catchy.
Yeah,
and it has been that ever since that. And you've went from kind of being the mentor to being one of my best mates, and it's just went stratospheric.
Yeah, no, it's been class, and I also just feel I feel like it's new. I feel like 6 years is a reasonable amount of time to have a company, but I don't feel MTN's like been here that long.
No,
Like, I feel like I've coached for quite a long time. I've coached for 11 years, but I don't know, I was listening to something about founders and owners and businesses earlier, and it was talking about like the kind of exponential growth. Most of them feel at 10 years, but most businesses don't make it 10 years. I think the average lifespan of a business is 7 years. Most businesses don't make, so if we fold next year, fuck this, but most businesses don't make it to 10 years in. And I am more than ever just excited to see what this looks like in 10 years, what our relationship looks like, what the company looks like, what MTN looks like, what the coaches look like, what the services and products look like, just by having it for 10 years. Like, cool, I've got some ideas on what that looks like from a growth standpoint, but just the sole act of, if we kind of grow at the rate we've been growing, which hasn't been, you know, stratospheric, like you kind of said that there, but it's not been exponential, it's not been fucking out of this world, it's been like quite a nice growth curve. Like, I think if you look at client numbers, income, business growth, things like that, the service delivery, it's not went from like A to Z. It's kind of went A, B, C, D, E, F, and I think we're on like G right now. I still think we've got another fucking 19 letters to scale.
Is that right?
Like that?
Is that right?
Nah, I was wrong.
I think
26 letters in the alphabet.
Aye.
Cool, fuck it.
It is 26, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a PT, I don't know.
Sorry,
only counting kilos. This is just my thoughts on why a business would fail at 10 years. I feel like it's because in a 10-year period, things change in the world, and it's likely a company that's done very, very well doing things a certain way for the first 3, 4, 5, then something changes, and they're not willing to change with it, and therefore they become irrelevant.
AI will be that thing.
It will be. It definitely will.
Like, if we don't adapt to AI in the next 4 years, and I'm not sure what that looks like for a fitness company. I've got a few ideas, but
it's very hard to know what that looks like.
That will be the thing that changes. And I think if coaches don't adapt, then they'll die. They won't die. Anyway, Q3, any last lessons for Q3 before we move into Q4?
No, I highlighted this section. Was planning, committing, enduring. Basically, that's what I done. Was just get through, and like we touched on, I didn't realise how much it probably affected me until the end of Q3, where I felt very like, I never realised how much, like, because even off the back of the 12-week peak, you then on board loads of clients who are buzzing to then just continue to work with you. So it's not as if it's like, hunky-dory, we can go through summer. And also, Q3 was the summer holidays for me, so it was sleep on the living room floor, house get done.
Sleep under the living room.
I was in the bed with Daniel.
So was Alex.
I never saw you. I must have done all turn
That's when we bought the big bed. And then it was summer holidays as well, so it was just endure this phase, get through it.
Yeah.
And I have no lessons other than sometimes you go through a very busy period and this too shall pass.
My Q3 was quite like, this when I had Harrison. That was August. Yeah, it was August. July, August for me are quieter months. It's outside of the 12-week peak. I'm not directly coaching any clients right now. We didn't bring on any new coaches at that time. It's sort of, I went a few did I go a few holidays? No, I couldn't have. I just had a baby. I think I just enjoyed time with my baby and started to kind of figure out the next phase of growth for MTN, which is what Q4 has kind of been all about as well. So that's typically what Q4, of course, we launched the growth project. We've got that going on every October or November to February. But outside of that, it's typically when I look to bring on new coaches as well. I think it's a good time to sort of get them on board and get them up to scratch ahead of January. And for me, the biggest thing that happened in Q4 / the end of Q3 was just the full team being absolutely slammed busy. For every single person was like, I'm pretty much at capacity. You could maybe take 1 or 2 people, but that was it. Insane for 10 coaches within the one company together.
Was September or October? September was the busiest month.
Yeah.
Aye, ridiculous.
I think September and October were both. Both big.
And that started like July, August to build up to those busy points as well. So it wasn't like it just happened overnight.
MTN throughout the years has been quite seasonal. Like we could all admit to that. There's months where we're like, oh my fucking god, there is so much going on, and there's months where we're like, I could probably be doing with being a bit busier right now. Like January, sometimes December, 100% be one of those months. I do feel we've got a lovely little bit of momentum right now, and things have been very steady and very consistent with more growth sort of on the horizon as well.
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, for sure. That was the time period where, after 12-week peak, can I just say as well, my favourite clients to work with, the ones that continue from the 12-week peak, because it's just a case of, one, they're hard workers, they've already got to get it out, and every week I'm just like, have some more calories, just a lovely experience. It's so good, I love it. I also feel like that's the time when people sign up after the 12-week peak that I really get to know them, because I've been coaching them throughout the 12-week peak, but it's not been the same level of communication that I get with someone when they're a premium client. I love getting to know people properly. And the vast majority of people that finished after the 12-week peak this year and came on board
you build a good relationship
are still working with me.
I love that.
And are doing great. So if you want to work with me after 12-week peak, let me know.
Book now 6 months in advance or 9 months in advance.
Let's do it. But yeah, I've kind of lost my point there, to be honest. I don't really know what I was speaking about, but I think I found after Q3 when I was kind of saying that I took a wee step back from a few things. I felt like I kind of fell out of love with training a little bit because I was kind of focusing more on just feeling good. Q4, like you said there, I took on 10 clients because I was like, I'm feeling good again now, and I felt in the position to do that. Content was good, took 10 people back on, MTN was crazy busy, all the other coaches were crazy busy. Felt like I started really excelling in my head of coach development role as well, because I took some time to just work on myself and come back with it. Yeah. I feel like I come back with loads of new information as well.
Love that.
Everyone was, like I say, because I was better, put everyone else around me in a better spot as well, and that's when I learned that for sure.
I think that's the biggest thing that we have over other coaches. Like I said, there's plenty of other coaches that are more educated than us. I'll be the first to say that. There's people that know more about biomechanics and whatever else. I think what we have that's quite special, to be fair, is like the actual team environment. Yeah. And I think when one of us is really excelling, it feeds down. And I weirdly don't think it works the opposite way. Like, unless it's maybe me to an extent, if I'm in a bit of a shitty place, that maybe feeds down the way. But I feel like with everyone else, if they're in a bad place, they actually just get picked back up. I feel like everyone sort of vibes off one another's like positivity and wins and whatever else. There's that little bit of competitiveness, like, you know.
It's totally framed in a good way, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally framed
Yeah,
in
it's not like a toxic work environment.
or like a comparison.
Honestly, it's not.
Or like a comparison. It's a...
Oh, you're the most hilarious for this, though.
It's everyone's very open to helping each other build up to their client numbers. Even if somebody takes a little dip, it's not like, oh, for fuck's sake, he's got more clients or there's more leads coming through. It's very, very
what are they
positive.
doing? Can I learn from it?
Yeah,
Can you help me with it?
Everyone's very humble and asks the right questions, and very quickly, bang, it's turned round. And I think, like you said, you touched on, we're in such a good place where everyone's so busy, and it's been nobody's really dipped. It's been so consecutive for the last 6 months or so.
Yeah, it's been great. I think, like, again, system accumulation of just lots of the right things coming into place. It's easier to coach more people to have better quality clients. Like, the people we've worked with this year have been phenomenal as well, which is really good. The coaches are all getting better. I think as the coaches improve, the quality of the service delivery improves, the results then get better, the company then grows, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool seeing that towards the end of Q3 and even moving into Q4, which is typically in the fitness space. Any coaches watching this will agree. Typically, as a quieter time, it's actually not been for us so far. It might change in December towards the end, but I kind of don't see it happening. Like, I think everyone's in a really good place right now, which is cool to see. We've also just taken on 2 new coaches. Got Morgan, who we've already announced, and we've got Sarah, who we're announcing on Friday. I think by the time this podcast is out,
don't really say that.
she'll be announced, which is cool. I think like this could be the first time that you've really stepped into a mentorship role, Lewis, and really mentoring Sarah to where we want to get her. Alex, you've been doing it for the team for a while now, but you're going to kind of take Morgan under your sturdy wing. What movie is that from?
I don't know.
Absolutely no idea.
Role Models, Sturdy Wings. No,
no.
See that?
I've seen that film. I just can't remember that.
Class film. I was about to quote something now, so I'll definitely not say what I was going to say after the podcast. So yeah, I think that's going to be cool to see their growth. We had so many people apply to work with MTN this time, like 104 people expressed interest, which was
that's a major credit to the company,
the brand,
and a credit to the current coaches that work with us as well. Because if they weren't appearing to be happy, busy, knowledgeable,
successful,
capable, successful, then people wouldn't apply.
Yeah.
So
we'll keep pretending everyone's winning.
Do you know what? It's funny because I was going to say this when we were talking about, I think it was maybe Peter, you were saying, when he came on board, you're very good at sharing our wins, and I think it was maybe my win, because you then sent me the message that Peter sent, and I think Peter said to you, like, in a year, that's what I want to be.
Oh yeah,
I was buzzing with that, and
like an aspirational lifestyle.
Yeah,
that's what I want for, like. Again, somebody was asking me like what my goals are for next year, and my goals, that's why I asked you to fill in this kind of clarity and vision worksheet. My goals are to help you hit your goals, and if you hit them, I'm pretty certain mine will happen anyway. Like that, genuinely, for next year, I'm very much like team focused. What do you want to achieve? Can I help you get there? If I can, great. I'm certain it will help me as well. So I'm like all in that this year. And like I said, we had a lot of people apply to work within the brand. Super hard decision to try and find the right people, like always is, and even some of the people that we've said it's maybe not the right time right now. I think we've got some really good coaches in the pipeline in the next few weeks and months. Coaches that have worked with us as clients,
over 100 mental.
It's actually mad. Yeah, without any, it's not on Indeed. It's me throwing up an Instagram post and being like, guys, we've got this thing. Come and
that's so true.
Come and jump
it's
on
not
board.
Some advert somewhere. It's just let me know if you want.
And we want to grow. Like that's what we were meeting about after this. Actually, like. How do we grow the coaching team? How do we like kind of dominate the certainly Scottish, if not UK, fitness space with coaches, like really good quality coaches that can deliver a high quality coaching under a brand umbrella? That's really what I want to build. So I think of those people that have sort of expressed interest, it's maybe not a right now, it's maybe a cool, let us build some stuff, because I think we need to get better at onboarding new coaches and almost building the delivery for onboarding coaches the same as it is for like the 12-week peak, things like that.
I think for me it's very exciting because when I first came on board, it was probably it must have been the first coach outside of Glasgow. In the last kind of 5 years it's been that, and now there's another coach, so we're like the East Coast Massive. You've
been dying for an Edinburgh-based coach.
Like, start building.
Do you know what I'm going to say though? An Edinburgh-based coaches probably won't listen to this anyway. Edinburgh versus Glasgow, like the people are so fucking different. Like there's such a different mindset. even the coaches that I know from Edinburgh are way more like.
That's such a toxic.
Isn't it?
Oh, like it's
Like
very me.
competitive.
Oh,
Yeah.
me versus you.
Glasgow's quite collaborative, I think, with coaches. I think
That's one of the
Edinburgh,
first things I said to you.
Yeah.
It was. It's. I'm not going to name them, but I've got coaches in my mind that are. They're just, like it's very much me versus you. They'll see like a massive win. They just won't even like your.
Yeah.
It's just the weird, and I find that so.
I don't think.
Weird.
I genuinely think there's a difference. I don't know if it's between Glasgow coaches or just Glasgow
yeah.
people and Edinburgh people, but I think there's a massive difference. I really
yeah.
struggle. I mean, I also don't follow maybe as many people from Edinburgh just because I'm not from there. I feel like Glasgow's got way more coaches. Don't know if that's true either, but I kind of feel that.
I mean, probably
I feel
not.
a bit like that as well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You maybe just follow more within like the MTN network,
maybe,
I suppose.
Yeah.
I've always felt like that. Anything else in your mind about this last quarter, October or December?
My biggest lesson was, and we spoke about this yesterday, was the more I learn, the less I know. That's where I'm at right now.
The Dunning-Kruger effect.
The Dunning-Kruger effect is that what it's called.
Yeah.
So
Freddy Krueger effect.
So I get quite jealous of my past self sometimes. I've just been able to proceed with everything that I do with just blind confidence and thinking that I knew that was the right way and the only way to do it. And I feel like the more I grow up, the more I have more experiences, the more people that I have in my life that I'm responsible for, and the more things I learn about myself, the more I think, God, how wrong I was. And then you start to learn what the right way is, and then you go, actually, well, I mean, there's actually three right ways.
Yeah, there's
and
nuances and caveats to everything.
This just web of like, oh, and you know, actually, I appreciate that maybe works for me, but not for that person. And you know, oh, maybe that person actually can't do the things that I do because they're in this situation and that was the way they were brought up. And it's actually led to, probably for the first time in my life, chronic overthinking. Yeah. And I was wondering where my lack of energy was coming from. And I feel like over this quarter so far, I've done a lot of thinking. And I'll be grateful for it because I feel like I've got a lot out of it. But I'm also noticing that I need to just proceed with things with a bit more confidence sometimes now.
You're also leading people
from my head a wee bit more
from a business standpoint for the first time ever. So you feel like you're in more of a leadership place.
Yeah.
Like, cool, you've led clients for 10 years, but like you're leading a team of people that you're responsible to an extent for them making money and making a living. So there's probably more resting on you now. And I've been through this as well, where you sort of you assume that your way is the right way, and because it was the right way for you and it's how you done things, and it's like, actually no, it's maybe not the right for this person, and they've got a different version of the truth in their head. That's that. I've went through that, and I've went through that in the fitness space. I used to post with blind confidence, call out bodybuilders, call out people, call them fucking wrong and whatever else. Used to be such a little scumbag in Facebook back in the day. I would call out, you remember this? Used to call out all the bodybuilders in the gym, and I was this skinny wee guy, but I was like, you guys don't know anything. And in fairness, they were so uneducated, but they had more credibility from a physique standpoint or whatever. And then I was like, oh wait, actually I've learned more now, and some of what they're doing is actually right, and what I was saying is only right in some cases. So then my confidence shrunk with posting content, because I'm like, I'm not always right. Like sometimes it's right and sometimes it's not. Same in business. The more you learn, the more you start to go, oh wow, I've got so much left to learn. Fuck. I thought I knew a lot, but I know nothing.
Yeah, definitely. And that has created not that I don't want to create as much content, but when I do, I'm not able to proceed with as much confidence as I used to have, knowing that my way is the right way.
Yeah.
And I think when you're trying to get across something on social media, the most eye-grabbing way to do it is to have confidence with it. So my best thing was always talking videos. Like I'd talk to a camera and I'd be quite engaging and articulate myself well and make it interesting, make it funny. And I'm like, yeah, but I could do that video in 3 different ways and describe it in 3 different ways, and maybe that won't actually speak to that kind of person, but maybe that, I'd just get myself into that position.
Should do that and make them all trial reels and see what works.
Just do 8 different ones. I know. I find the time for that. But yeah, I get to that stage where I'm like, I could just leave it today. I've done what I need to do today. My clients are happy, coaches are happy. I'm seeing Holly tonight. Like, there's just different priorities for me a wee bit.
That's fair.
And the bad thing for me, and you say it's a positive, but I always know that if I started posting again, I would get business, because I'm good at it when I do it. There just needs to be urgency there for me, and I need to work on that.
Good to see where you're going to work on that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the last little section we're going to discuss, looking ahead for 2026 as well. Before I move on to that, I'm going to throw a rogue question out and see if you get anything that springs to mind. I've got one, if not, so I can give you some thinking time. But what's the most you've laughed in 2025? You want me to kick off?
Go for it.
So, me, Alex, and Alan went to London to see a comedy gig. Kill Tony. It was a show like we've watched for like 5 years or something. And amazing weekend, you know, pubs, pints, whatever else. It was a good laugh. And then I think it was the last night we went to Kill Tony, wasn't it? Anyway, went to Kill Tony, paid £8 or something for a ticket. And it was like so bang average. Like one, it was way funnier on TV. Two, I think it just didn't have the right crowd or whatever else. So like we paid all this money to go to a comedy gig and it was all right. And anyway, at the halftime, me and Alan went to take a pee. And there was like me, Alan, taking a pee in the urinal, and one other guy walked in and just let off this absolute ripper fart. And it was the most immature thing on planet Earth, but me and him kind of started sniggering like a little bit. And then it turned into like a pure eruption of laughter.
Yeah.
And then the guy that farted started laughing. And the three of us were just like washing our hands and tears of laughter. And we walked out being like, I can't believe we've paid £80 for this comedy gig and we've watched the funniest thing that's happened. This guy was actually doing a bloody fart.
There's something amazing in that simplicity though. I've got a group chat of mates that would just go off on, and it's just all silly,
pure stupid,
silly boy things.
Yeah.
Like females, I don't think would laugh at that, but males, like very, very simple things that I'm not going to speak about in here. Just honestly, I read them in the chat and I'm in tears of laughter.
Yeah.
There's just something amazing about the simplicity in that. Though.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
have many moments like that where I'll be sitting just tears streaming down my face at a video, and I'll show Holly, and she's like, "That's not funny."
Yeah.
I'm so gutted that you don't find that funny. It's totally fine. You're allowed to have that opinion. It's cool. You don't find it funny,
Yeah.
but I'm gutted that you do, because I want someone to be able to share the laughter.
At least once every couple of days, I'm sending used pair and a load of my mates just stuff off Instagram. I think the internet is a mental place, but it can just be so funny. Folk are so creative, and I'm in tears, can't breathe. Yeah. Danielle's like, "Oh, you shut the fuck up." Wee Phyllis is on the couch with a wee cup of tea. Danielle's grandma. What is he? What's wrong with Lewis? I'm like that. Can't breathe. It's just brilliant, and it's just simple things like that.
You can't show a gran a video either, because she's goes,
"Who's that?"
You know them. You're like, "Oh, never mind."
Any standout moments this year? Anything that sticks out? If not, I'll move on.
I liked when we went away. I thought that was brilliant right at the beginning of the year.
The Fairmont, that was good.
That was good. Me hacking about on the golf course in horrible weather, half cut. That was an experience.
There's nothing better than like a 3-pint buzz just in a pub or walking about. You just feel amazing.
That was actually a hilarious round of golf, to be fair, because we were both in the driving range before it, and if one of those wins that if you were to like open up your jacket or something in a bath suit, you'd take off.
It was mental. I was looking at the weather and we were kind of just like looking out. There was nobody else on the golf course. You're hitting balls and they were just kind of going up in the air and just like coming back towards us. And we were like, we'll have a good crack at this. And then we both just rifled their first tee shot into the ground. We were like, that's all again.
Love it. Let's finish this off with, I'll start with Alex. What's something that you're doing less of in 2026? Something you want to either ditch, leave behind, or just simply do less of in 2026?
I think I want to stop spending so much time on, like we were speaking about before, spending time on the things that don't have the intention to help me get to where I want to get to.
Nice.
I'll try and word that a little bit better.
What are those things?
The things that aren't going towards my goals for next year. My majorly long-term goals, and I actually spoke about that on this clarity sheet that we did this week, but the last message on that was, or the last text on that was, the last question on that, sorry, Christ, was, what do you want to be remembered as? And I just couldn't think of anything, and I was like, I'll just like put down what everyone would kind of put down. And the whole sheet in front of that, I'd been putting down just these things like, I just want to make more money, and I just, maybe one day I'll have a nice watch, and just things that I'm just like, yeah, they're great and all that, but I don't feel like a deep meaning of purpose in doing them. And the very last bit said, what do you want to be remembered as? And I just put great dad, great friend, great son, great partner. That's the 4 things that I put at the end. And I had a moment where I was like, not like fuck everything else on that sheet, but
This is all that matters.
If I knew that that's what I got to the end of my life and that's what I was remembered by, just those 4 things, I'd be really, really happy.
Class.
It's so funny you should say that.
I think anything that doesn't get me closer to being that this year, that maybe goes tits up or goes wrong, I don't have a right to be annoyed about it or spend too much time on it.
I like it.
So it's, again, I speak to you about this all the time. I find it really good to hear that, and I'm like, oh, he's going to get there, because you just go full circle.
Yeah.
And I'm like there now, and I realised that, because I found it very easy to write that. So I found it very easy to write good partner, good dad, good son. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of feeds into everything else for me now. Whereas previously it was, oh, I need to earn more because of that. And then you eventually, you get there and you realise that's what underpins your success.
Well, the good thing is that, I'm saying, I didn't want to come across there like finances don't matter, because some parts of being a good partner and a good dad will be, are you secure? Which comes from making more money, which then comes from marketing yourself. So you could always bleed it down into some very small goal like that. But I think having those 4 pillars now of where I want to be by the time I cop it, I can start. I kind of want to
everything comes off them.
I kind of want to even do this over the next few days and be like, well, let's break down each of those 4
What is
things
a good dad?
and what can I do on a yearly basis, a monthly basis, and a weekly basis to nail all 4 of those at some point. Great dad. Obviously, I don't know what I'll be doing this week to figure that
You
out.
might be a dad, who knows? Lewis, what's something that you want to do less of in 2026?
It's an easy one for me. And be less emotional. We all know I wear my heart on my sleeve. I think for me, it was the tail end of last year. I was feeling, tail end of this year, before I had the holiday, I was feeling very sort of burnt out and stressed, because it's been a busy year, and I'm grateful for how busy it was been. But Danielle sort of always says to me, like, be a bit more present. I think have that, and I've taken action on that. Obviously, finishing up with a 1-to-1 and the goals that we've set, having I suppose I'm better work-life balance. And one thing I realised when I was on holiday, I don't like taking holidays, but I realised that I need them. Like, I don't like taking holidays, apart from Christmas time, because I know that everybody's off. Like, everybody takes their foot off the gas.
I don't know if I get most day anyway.
Whereas at any other point in the year, you could go on holiday, or maybe 1 or 2 clients go on holiday, but it's just not going to happen where all 35 of your clients are going to go on holiday the same week or 2 weeks. But you need to take a break, because you come back better.
Yeah, so you feel allowed to take a holiday that time of year because everyone else has to.
100%. So that's probably one thing I'm going to be much better at next year.
Nice. I think mine for next year is actually less half-hour training sessions. I think for the last probably 2 years, my training's just been because I do it as a habit. I don't think I've had a specific goal. I think it's very much to get in, to get out, to get a session. And don't get me wrong, I need to be smart with my time next year. I've got a baby now, it's a little bit different, but I think actually just using my time in the gym a little bit wiser, training harder again. Like, I feel I used to have I'd say I maybe still have quite an aspirational physique for the average person, but I think I used to have an aspirational physique for coaches. I think I used to have an aspirational performance level. Used to be able to deadlift much more than the average person, squat much more, bench not so much. Body weight movements, calisthenics, I was always good at that shit, and I feel like I had, even from a fitness standpoint, like, I was always the guy that people would be like, do you want to come do this thing? And I'd be like, aye, fuck it. And they'd be like, how are you so fit still?
I can jump
you don't
into
train
that.
like that.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that recently, even though actually I've done a few things in the last 2 years that have been like the gauntlet with no training, high rocks with no training, the marathon with no training. The theme is I don't train for these things, but I think I just want to fucking train harder. I think I want to put more into my training and be a little bit more direct with it for next year. I think figure out what that side of things looks like. Let's round things up. What's something that you're excited for 2026, Alex?
I will be on the housing market in next year. That's my biggest top of the mountain goal next year is to buy my first property.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Lewis, something you're excited for?
Well, just recently gave up the 1-to-1 in-person coaching in the gym, and it's a bit scary, but it's very exciting because it's going to open more opportunities for growth.
Time, flexibility, freedom.
Yeah, But I think doing anything for 10 years and then stopping, it's kind of part of your sort of character, your personality. But I know that it's the natural progression, and I'm always like, wait, what's next? So that's what's next.
Well, I think mine's is we are trying to book a retreat for the team, a little bit of an abroad trip for the full MTN squad. I am buzzing for that. It's something that's been on my mind for fucking years. Like, it's been on the Q1 conference every year. We're doing a retreat this year. We're doing a retreat this year. We're doing a fucking retreat next year. Yeah. It's not for clients yet. Sorry, guys. It is just going to be for the coaches next year. It's maybe something that we'll look to do to the wider market thereafter. But I'm so excited for that. I think it just combines a lot of the, like, you know, Kirsty's part of the team as well. So it combines so many aspects of my life. It combines socialising, business, life, love, wealth, whatever else. It just combines everything in one place. Sunshine. Just can't beat it. So I'm looking forward to getting that booked in the next month or two.
Can I bring Holly?
Can bring Holly too. Cool. She needs to join the team though.
We'll find a job for us.
That is us for this episode. We thought we'd just spend the time doing a little bit of a recap. So hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing about our year. Would love to hear how your year went as well. So please feel free to reach out and let us know. If you like this podcast, please share it to your audience. Like it. Make sure you follow Lewis, Alex, me. Just follow us all. I don't know. I never know how to end these, but
don't follow me.
Don't stand outside my house.
That is the end. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.